Our sponsor for this hour is Troy Made It. Troy, a potter born with Down syndrome, hand makes each piece of pottery, sometimes with a little help from his mom. 100% of the proceeds from his pottery sales are donated to nonprofit organizations that are making the world a better place. Thank you, Troy, for your support of DSDN.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our live stream. Thank you to those of you who are joining us live for another behind the scenes look at DSDN. Since the very beginning of DSDN, we have always viewed our work as an additional layer of support for new and expectant parents. And basically what that means is we don't see us as a replacement for the things that are happening in local communities, but supports and services. And so this hour, I am happy to welcome back to DSDN our past local partnerships director, Lauren Young, to talk about our local partnerships in a little bit more depth. So welcome, Lauren.
Thank you. It's so good to see you.
Yeah, it's really good to see you too. We miss you around here. I'm going to have you introduce yourself, but just like right off the bat, you were our local partnerships director or co-director, I think, early on, but since 2018?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So math, we've been doing our live stream now for, I think, 7 hours. So I can't do math in my head anymore, but a lot of years. And so thank you for just committing so deeply to what we do. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Why don't you introduce yourself so that our audience can get to know you?
Sure. I'm Lauren Young. I was the former local partnership director with DSDN. I have 3 kids. Kent is 12, Miriam is 10, and Iris is 8. Iris is our kiddo rocking the extra chromosome. So the work that DSDN was doing really inspired me once she was born to really get involved and to see how I could help further, especially with connecting people and being involved locally. I thought was really important.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're touching on this a little bit, but my first question for you is, why is our mission so important to you that you've volunteered for us since 2018, just stepping away this year?
Yes, I think it's really important that those families feel connected. Online, I think, is a massive connection. I think you can connect without people knowing who you are, which is kind of nice, without being really personal. But you can also become really personal in those birth groups. And anyways, it has become a really close-knit family. I think that is important. But I also think, like you said, there's an added layer that the local organizations bring and that connection that they can have. But also, DSDN was really important to me too, finding families that had diagnoses that matched mine that weren't in the area, those things that are really specific. Early on, we had a G-tube, we had an NG tube, the heart defect, all of those things that I couldn't find specifically in that moment. I could get on to DSDN at midnight and find a connection, which was really cool.
Right. That has been a common thing mentioned today, just the topical groups and knowing that there's someone within our network that's going to have experience with what you're going through that you might not be able to find anywhere else. So we share that experience for sure. Well, what about local partnerships, or why are local partnerships so important to DSDN? And what have you learned through that in the last several years?
Sure. I've learned that you also need that connection within your community. And it doesn't have to be, the local organization's fabulous, but what I also learned is that local organizations don't have to be right down the street from you. They can be 2 hours away, but they have a community of people that is close to you because they have all those extra connections. So for example, I think there's 15 of us that are really, really close in birth, like maybe our kids are 6 months apart, and we met randomly at either local events or Target or getting coffee, like just kept finding people that had kids with Down syndrome that we're a very similar age, and it feels like we have really brought our kids up together. So that local is really nice. And then also with the siblings, can all support each other, which is really cool too.
Right. Yes. The online conversations are important for all the reasons we've been talking about, but sometimes just being able to sit over coffee or, see somebody face to face, give them a hug is equally important. So can you share more about the connections that you've helped make in your role with DSDN between DSDN and their local support network?
Yes. So a lot of our connections, you would think, are parents getting a new diagnosis or having a new baby. Those connections are really great, especially because those parents are so frantic to find someone who is similar to them or find someone who has experience like them that maybe has an older child and can kind of walk them through it. So I reach out to not only the parent, but the executive director. And then normally what's really cool is the executive director or the person in charge locally introduces them to another family. Of course, they always reach out and say, hello, congratulations, but that handoff to the next person, which is really what they want, is that experienced parent, is nice. And then the other thing, many reasons why people reach out for connections, but we can connect to those topical groups. So if you have something new coming about, an auditory issue maybe, or something that you're experiencing and not yet, we can connect you with those groups. And then too, for families that are moving to a new area. So they might have an older child or they might have across the country. It's really nice too for them to be able to reach out prior to moving to get that information. Sometimes it's just they need a connection and they haven't connected. So that's always, but the age span is very vast.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I want to emphasize for those that maybe missed it or just to clarify how important like what you've been doing. So you're essentially doing a warm handoff. We're not just giving somebody like, here's your local or contact information, give them a call. You're trying to make that connection directly with a person in their community, in their local support network, so that they can like pick it right up, pick up that support. So I think that's great. Do you know how many connections you've made between parents that have, requested to have that connection made? Do you have any idea how many you've made since you started?
I do not. I have no idea.
I do. I looked before this. So it's an estimate because some of the earlier years I couldn't find the best data. And I think it was aggregate, or it's going to be give or take 50, but you have connected almost 1,500 parents that have found DSDN first with their local support network in the last several years. So that is
good.
Amazing, right?
Feels good.
It does feel good. So I know you've moved away from DSDN to do some things locally in your community, which sounds really exciting. Mahala Turner came in to take over your local partnerships role. So we're going to just keep on making those connections. Is there anything else that you would want to share with our audience about this work or anything else before we say goodbye to you today?
No, I think the work DSDN does is so important. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you inviting me back to talk. And then I think too, for any new parents who want to get involved, or parents who are older, have older kids, get involved in some way, because it is rewarding. And this experience of meeting organizations all over the country has been so incredible for me and for my heart. So thank you for allowing me to do it.
Oh, thank you, Lauren. And just a plug for this team. If there is anyone if this work sounds interesting, if you want to volunteer to help make those connections and be part of our local connections and local partnerships team, we could definitely use you to do the same type of work. When somebody lets us know that they haven't been connected to their local organization, we want to help make that happen, and you can be part of that team. So if you're interested, let us know. You can even comment. We'll be watching the comments for that if you are interested. Well, thank you again, Lauren. Truly appreciate it, and it's always good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you.
The Down Syndrome Collaborative, or DSC, came to life in October 2022 out of a shared passion for better supporting new and expectant parents on their Down syndrome journey. It was founded by the Down Syndrome Diagnosis Network, Lettercase National Center for Prenatal and Postnatal Resources, National Down Syndrome Adoption Network, and the National Parents First Call Center. Together, we've hosted thoughtful conversations around important topics like outreach to underserved communities, pregnancy and child loss, breastfeeding, heart conditions, and support for dads and siblings. The DSC is a space where national and local organizations from across the U.S. come together every other month to connect, share ideas, and learn from one another. At its heart, the DSC is about relationships, building them, nurturing them, and using them to strengthen the work we're all doing in our own communities. Whether it's sharing best practices or simply encouraging one another, we believe we're stronger when we work together. But the DSC is more than just a meeting every other month. It's an ongoing community that stays connected through our private Facebook group, where members keep the conversations going, sharing resources, and cheering each other on. The founding organizations have also taken this collaboration to the national stages, sharing what we've learned at the DSAIA Leadership Conference and the National Down Syndrome Congress Annual Convention. We're so proud of what the DSC has become, and we're just getting started. We're excited to keep growing, keep connecting, and keep supporting the incredible leaders who welcome the newest families into the Down syndrome community every day.
Hi everyone, my name is Mahala Turner and I'm the Local Partnerships Director with DSDN. Happy DSDN Day! I recently stepped into the role of Local Partnerships Director, and I wanted to take a moment to extend a heartfelt thank you to all of our local organizations that support new families. We could not do this work without you, and we appreciate that you provide another layer of support for our families who are navigating a new Down syndrome diagnosis. So, on behalf of all of DSDN, thank you for the work you do, and I look forward to working with you in the future. Happy DSDN Day!